How to play the Bobbing for Apples game in 6 simple steps by Game on Family. The traditional way to play the Bobbing for Apples game is to put a bunch of apples in a shared tub full of water and let players compete, one at a time, to be the fastest person to bite the apple. Check the show notes for links to other variations. Step 1. Grab one or more friends, some apples, and a bowl filled with water. Bobbing for Apples is great for large groups at Halloween or other fall parties, but you can play with as few as 2 players. You'll need a water receptacle, such as a large bowl, tub, or cooler, big enough to hold at least 5 apples with room between the apples, deep enough that people can dunk their heads, but shallow enough that players can reach the bottom when dunking. Fill the water about 3/4 of the way full so that the water doesn't spill over the top when players dunk their heads. Step 2. Determine who goes first. Everyone is racing against the clock, so playing order doesn't really matter. You can choose order by age, height, whoever lines up first, or any other method. Step 3. Get your timer ready. Grab a timer or stopwatch. We recommend up to 2 minutes max per turn. Step 4. Play the first turn using only a player's face to remove an apple from the water as fast as possible. The timer can do a countdown to start play or start the timer when the bobbing player begins. Using only their teeth, the player attempts to bite and remove an apple from the tub of water. The timer stops as soon as the player drops the apple outside the water bin or into their hand. Step 5. Alternate turns so that every player gets a turn. Every player gets at least one turn. You're welcome to add additional rounds where players attempt to improve their time. Just make sure everyone gets an even number of turns. Step 6. Declare the winner with the fastest time. The winner of the apple bobbing game is the player with the fastest time from when they dunk their head until they retrieve the apple out of the water and drop it to the side or into their hand. Apple bobbing rules. The rules of bobbing for apples are simple. 1. Only your head can be used to touch the water or apples. That means no hands or other body parts to assist. It's best to keep your hands behind your back, but that doesn't have to be required. 2. You must remove the apple with your mouth. That means you can't position it between your chin and your chest or roll the apple out of the water using your head. 3. You can bite any part of the apple to remove it, including the stem, unless otherwise stated before the game. 4. The clock stops once the player drops the apple outside of the water tub or into their hand. If the apple drops back into the water, the clock keeps running. Check the show notes for the sanitary version's apple on a string or individual buckets that allow for head-to-head matchups, or alternates such as hanging donuts. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get more family game tutorials like this.